Hello everyone, hope you're doing well and not having too much of a scary day, as today I am going to do the horror movie tag. I like movies and I like horror movies just as much as the next person, which means I like them a little bit. Not as much as other movies, but I do like a few good horror movies, as long as they're good. And so for this tag I have to do 13 questions. I believe that 13 questions is a coincidence and with nothing in common whatsoever with Friday the 13th. Let's get on with the horror movie tag. I promise it won't be scary. Question 1. What is my favourite scary movie? That would have to be Alien. I thought pretty solid movie and pretty scary. It combines horror with sci-fi and I like sci-fi stuff, and I really like Alien. And it was, I think, the very first horror movie I ever saw, and it scared me, particularly with the face hugger alien and the one coming out of the chest like, ah! So yes, that was very scary. It scared me. Question number 2. Favourite scream queen. Man, that's a tongue twister. What's a scream queen? I am hoping it just means a decent female character in a horror movie, in which case that would be Ellen Ripley from Alien and the general Alien franchise. Good solid action hero and takes nothing from those aliens. She'll go and kick their ass. Question number 3. What type of horror movie do I like? Generally scary. I'm not too much of a fan of gore for the sake of gore. Where it's relevant to the plot of the movie, perfectly fine, and I can deal with that. But I generally prefer scary stuff, things that get into your mind, like haunted houses, ghosts, the ones that make you look over your shoulder and then you go, ah, there's the ghost. So like The Conjuring, I really enjoyed The Conjuring, and The Sixth Sense, because The Sixth Sense, man, a lorry just went past the window and that's why it got really dark just then. Nothing to do with this flat being haunted. But back to the question. What was the question? What type of horror film do I like? So yes, scary horror movie. Ones that make you go, whoa, that was scary. And the ones especially that are so scary that after you've stopped watching, you're scared for the rest of the day. Question number 4. What type of horror movie do I not like? Ones that suck. Generally, I've never been a fan of like gore for the sake of gore, or just generally horror movies that suck. Can't think of any to name right now. Question 5. If I were a scream queen in any movie, which would it be? Probably, again, Ellen Ripley from Alien. Tough character who will destroy all the aliens. 6. Who is your favourite horror villain and why? I would have to say this one would be Jigsaw from the Saw series, because he was a real person who, for reasons during his life, decided to create these unique traps to test people. Yeah, I know, weird. But what made me prefer the Saw movies over other horror franchises is like the ongoing narrative from one movie to the next. And when Jigsaw died, he stayed dead. Question 7. Who is the worst horror villain and why? I don't know. I'm never really a fan of the one in Halloween. Seemed a bit, I mean, great for one movie, but in the sequels, then it was a bit boring, mindless violence, mindless killing. Question 8. What is the worst horror movie I have seen and why? I think there's a few bad ones. I have discarded the memory of most of them, but one that does stick out was the Final Destination, so Final Destination 4. I thought it was just utter rubbish. The deaths were boring, not interesting, terrible acting, terrible CGI where it applied, and just terrible, terrible movie. Question 9. Which horror film do you think is overrated? I would definitely have to say The Exorcist. I remember when I watched that and I was bored stiff for the first half of that movie. Very little was happening. Absolutely little. To the extent I was tempted to just turn it off and go to bed when I was watching it. That's how bored I was. But for second half, much picked up, much improved, and pretty scary in the second half. But again, when I watched it, I didn't think it was anything special. Question 10. Which horror movie do I think is underrated? That's a tricky one. Well, The Cabin in the Woods was pretty good, but I don't know if that was a highly rated movie or not. But I believe that movie was underrated, so that I can answer this question. Cabin in the Woods, yeah, pretty good. I really enjoyed it because it started off what you thought was a generic teen horror movie, and then suddenly in the second half it's something completely different, and I very much enjoyed that. Question 11. Do I like spoof horror movies? Generally, no. That's generally rubbish. 12. What is my favourite horror movie series? That would have to be the Saw series. The main reason for that is because it generally is a series. There's a narrative from one movie to the next. It's like a continuing story. A lot of horror franchises, I do believe, have a great movie, maybe a great second movie as well, and swiftly just goes downhill from there as it rehashes the plot. The villain that died somehow survives and comes back and just does the same story over and over. While Saw has a lot of traps, a lot of deaths, there's sort of a bit of an underriding narrative. So if the characters change, completely new characters, and when a character dies, like the main Jigsaw killer, he stays dead. 13. Name 13 horror movie villains. What? 13? Okay, let's get started. The Alien from the Alien series. Predator from the Predator series. I hope Predator is a horror series. It is now. Jigsaw from the Saw series. Get Freddy Krueger. Leatherface, so that's 5. The villain from the Human Centipede. And the other villain in the Human Centipede 2. Jason X. Sorry, getting confused there with Freddy v Jason. Dracula. Frankenstein, well, Frankenstein's monster. Got Hyde from Jekyll and Hyde. Got to think of 2 more. Ghostface for person with the mask in Scream. And finally Hannibal Lecter from The Silence of the Lambs. There, I've done it. 13 villains named and 13 questions answered for my horror movie tag. Hope you enjoyed the tag. If you like the answers, please like, subscribe, check out my other videos as well. And I am now going to go off and get scared watching a horror movie. And have a fantastic rest of your day. Don't get too scared from horror movies. And I'll be back to see you on a new video soon. Bye! And what is that in the top corner of the screen? Uh-oh, I'm scared now.